Welcome back to another exciting Hot Rods in the Woods. Today we discover all of the problems with the car we've been driving around town for about a year. Yes, it's about time to get back on the gasser. We're going to go through some things to get her ready for the Hot Rod Power Tour this year. It is now, the 1st of April? I don't know. What's the date today? Let's see. No, it's the 29th, so we didn't quite make it to the Fool's Day. So I'm going to go ahead and do a whole bunch of red tagging, but I want to start with a few things that you'll be able to see so you know where we're going. So as discussed before, I have the nose off, and I'm getting ready to modify that so that it's a little easier for an old guy to tip up and down. So we'll be working on that here in a day or two. And what I'm doing is I have right here a Chrysler Sebring convertible hydraulic power unit and all of the rams to go with it. And we're going to try and make it a push button opening. We'll see how that works out. But a few things that I've been talking about in the past and I do know that I need to deal with. Ooh, I don't believe that's from this. Because it's only been sitting here for about, oh, it is. She got a leak and it's the inside of the yoke, which happens quite often. So, all right, we're going to have to address that. But a couple other things. When I put my ladder bars on the sliders, I didn't shim them, so they have a tendency to move. And what I discovered is when I stood on the throttle hard and everything shifted, what happened was one of those fell out of the bushing, and I thought I blew the transmission, but it was just because the bushing was out. It also spun on the back end back here, so I am going to weld half of the ladder bar in. I do need to put a couple more O-rings in my air shocks to get the back end up just a little bit when I'm hauling stuff. I have a minor leak right here at my transmission cooler, my transmission circulation pump. If you go back a few videos, you'll see all about that. I have a little oil leak back here that is coming all the way from the front. And what I discovered was that the Magic 2-piece timing cover, the hole was just a hair too small for the dowel. And because of that, the cover got a ding in it and wouldn't tighten all the way up, so it leaks. So I gooped it temporarily so I could drive it a little bit, but now I'm going to go ahead and pull the cover off and all of that. Otherwise, the engine's nice and dry. I did find that I had a gearbox leak. Apparently, these aftermarket chromy gearboxes, they fill with kind of a real light grease. And the top cover screws all came loose. So I snugged those back up. Front suspension's all good. I am going to change my shock bolts here, I think, because they're just a little shallow on the Nylox. Not that it really matters, but just make me a little happier. Then, of course, I have to revamp the radiator and all. I'm going to tilt it back so it's closer to straight up and down. In doing so, that means I can raise it so I can get rid of my dual radiator caps, one on top of the thermostat housing and all. And we're going to spiffy this girl up a little bit. It's been kind of neglected for quite a while. So we'll be doing a whole bunch to her. It's actually close to April. I have 2 months to get this done. I have to get this done, which, surprise, it is now out of the lift. I have done a whole bunch to it. I've actually got it so that it starts with the key. And when we got it, it kind of looked like this, and you can see I've still got a lot to do as far as wiring goes, but make sure it's in park. It is. Cheapers. So we've got that going in the right direction. My wife is doing upholstery, which she does not cease to amaze me as to how good she's doing with it. The stuff is turning out beautiful. So we'll be doing some upholstery. These are the seats for the red car. I do have one seat pretty much done for the gasser, and that is this one, which I threw in here just so I could drive it in. And that's what we've got going on. So I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys on the pedestal. I'll explain a little more as I'm going what's happening. Jeez, I'm walking around in circles. My rust remover is still working really well. That was a ball of rust. That's the other bottom of the seat for this little Model A. So I'll throw you up on the pedestal here. We'll get everything geared up and I'll be back with you. Okay, so for starters, how to deal with this transmission leak. Once again, I'm just flagging and tagging today. One of the things about this, with this pump and all, the car not sitting real level, as we know, it's jacked up in the front. Air shocks are out of air because they send you garbage hoses. So what I need to do is you end up double O-ringing them and then they seem to seal. But that being said, because the transmission's at an angle toward the back, I overfill it just a little bit so that it fills the pump hoses and keeps that front bearing set lubed. As it sits, everything runs down inside, right? Runs right toward the back. That tail shaft, the yoke has, I don't know what you'd call it, kind of like a expansion plug, casting plug, freeze plug, whatever you would like to call it, but it's not sealed. They're sealed, but they aren't sealed real good. So what I need to do is I need to pull the drive shaft and I'll go ahead and seal that. This thing has not leaked at all the time it is sat in the barn until I just drove it from over there onto the lift here. So she'll probably be fine, but I'm not going to take a chance driving at 2,000 miles and having a issue that cannot be repaired on the road. So we will go ahead and start at the back. And what I'm going to start with first is the air shocks. I'll tag those. We're going to go from the back to the front. There's the air shock line. Then we're going to go to ladder bars. And I'm going to go back here because I am going to weld it to the differential. I can weld the top half, which is the bucket. The bottom half bolts on. And then if I do need to take them off, I can take them off. And I'm going to go ahead and do the front side too, so that they don't slip side to side, cause a problem there. And then we're going to do the drive shaft, which we already know is an issue. There's that. Then we'll come up here. This is just all part of the process, guys. I don't know what to tell you. You can make the assumption that when you see all these builds on TV and everything else, that everything's perfect. The reality, not so much. I've heard about a lot of cars that have been built by big name builders, and I mean the biggest that you see on TV, that weren't done on time, that were band-aided together just to get the job done, that were underneath all the glitz and glitter, just terrible when it came to production value. I want to put this one on the radiator just because I know I got to do that too. So all in all, this is not bad. So we've got an oil leak in the front. We know we're going to change the tilt front end up. I'm also going to change the entire belt system. I have a new peanut compressor. We're changing all of that to CVF stuff, which is a 8-rib serpentine belt. because this thing, if I spool it up pretty good, if I wind it up tight, it's going to sling the belts everywhere, and we don't want that happening at 6,500 RPM. Exhaust and all, I'm real happy with. Everything seems to be working real well. Brakes are working good. Steering works great. I'll go through, just do a bolt check on everything. And then we'll drive it a little bit and we'll see how she does. Now, I've got until April the 12th, actually the 11th. April the 12th is the first Cars and Coffee, about, 30, probably close to 50 miles from here, maybe a little bit less. So I'll be taking it to that on the 12th. It's a good shakedown cruise. Do that, bring it back, throw it back up in the lift, see how everything looks once again. Once again, that gives me plenty of time between then and June, I think the 5th, when I leave to go up to Indianapolis to the Hot Rod Power Tour and start that. I'm really pleased with the build. I think things have worked out very well. The things that you worry about the most seem to be working out good. My transmission's working real well as far as with my pump in the front. I've probably put, I don't know, maybe 500 or 600 miles on it since I blew the transmission up. I've gone to the same place where it happened, plenty of distance. I've driven around town. I've driven it back and forth here, there, and everywhere with not a problem one. If it was going to get hot and cause a bearing failure, it probably would have. The pump is kind of noisy. There's not much I can do about that. It needs to be in the air so that it can cool, because it does run constantly when I'm running. There are no vanes on this pump, so she runs pretty hard. So we'll run her. I did put a filter in the line. Like I said, go back and watch that video. Of all of my videos, that is probably the best one as far as information goes, and a do-it-yourself way of keeping these transmissions alive. This is not an uncommon problem. The front bearings are lubricated. They are a roller bearing. They are only lubricated by splash. And when you hard accelerate this car, that transmission fluid, it is ATF, all goes to the back. Now imagine that input shaft spinning at 6,000 RPM, even for, 10 seconds if you're driving down a quarter mile. And all of those G-forces just holding that fluid at the back. What's going to happen? That bearing has been spinning. It gets hot. It fries. That's why companies make an actual front plate just for that purpose, and it comes with a pump, and it's ridiculous money. It's not ridiculous money if you want to do it that way, but I showed a great way to do it for under $500. Does exactly the same thing, and you can do it at home. So there's that. What else? I'm going to do some more insulation inside. We're going to go ahead and get some seats in it that I can actually drive the car with instead of my wife's couch cushions. I did return those back to the outdoor furniture. She's happy about that. I did cut up one of her blankets. I cut it in half, so now it's a great big blanket rag for me. The beer drinking will begin. The projects will fall. This puppy back on the road. So I can't believe I don't have more tags on it. That's kind of impressive. Huh. Guy might have actually known what he was doing a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye to now. For now, we're just going to upload this one real quick, get back on this thing, have a beer or three, and once I get my plan set together and I actually start to do some physical work, I'll get you back on here and you can watch me make an idiot out of myself. Have a great day. Be safe. April Fool's Day is coming. Don't be fooled. And we'll see you soon. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Blah, blah, blah. Algorithms, It helps me out. It helps you. Shit. You know the drill. I am going to say this, though. I got something. Stand by. I'll be back. Okay, so I found a place that can make me these. I don't know if anybody'd be interested. And it has a whole bunch of little Hot Rods in the Woods on it. They are a super light, summery kind of like a Hawaiian shirt. Very comfortable. They do run small. If anybody wants one, take 4 to 6 weeks. You're looking at $20 delivered to your door. Not 30, not 40, not 50, not 15. $20. That's shipping the whole bit, and it includes the shirt. I have to order them in. I'll vacuum pack them, throw them in an envelope from the USPS, and ship them right to your door. Anyway, they're kind of cool. I'm not going to say it supports my site or anything else. I'll tell you honestly, right up front, I'm making $5. That's $5 for shipping, $5 for me. I pay $10 for the shirts if I buy them in bulk. So there you have it. Are they wonderfully, crazily built $50 shirts? Hell no. They're a car show shirt. You wear them around a few times, you enjoy life. If you want one, shoot me a message. I'll get back to you. We can figure out how to get together and we'll get it coming. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that garbage. Bye for now.